congratulations on the nomination. The nomination for the Paralympic Sport Award on top of 6 gold medals over the summer, it was cap off a really good year for you.
Well, so start of the season actually, start of December, I was in a very big car accident, which put me out of the water for about a month. So sort of didn't really think anything of the season. Sort of I get back in and see where it got me. And obviously I knew the Worlds were coming up, so obviously I was a bit gutted that I might not make it. And I rang all the sort of selectors saying, look, I'll give it the best shot, I'll get fit again, and sort of prove to you that I'm good enough to be there. And obviously I got selected for that. But I went to the ASA English Nationals the week before. I went over to Nottingham for the Worlds. I got a gold medal in the main event, so sort of that set it up quite nicely. And then going over to the Worlds was sort of just see what happened, and obviously came back with 6 gold. So.
And you must be obviously looking forward next year being an Olympic year. You must feel in a really good position for that.
Yeah. So I've got European qualifiers next month in December, and hopefully sort of see how I get on there. Hopefully get picked for the GB squad for Europeans in sort of early next year, and then in April we've got the British Championships, which is the selection event for the Paralympic Games. So hopefully see how I get on there, and maybe Paralympic Rio next year.
And when you got nominated for the Paralympic Sport Award, you must be really proud about
that. It was sort of very out of the blue, to be honest, because as you may know, I've been selected for the Manchester Sport Awards, which is coming up for sort of in the next sort of few days, and to win that I got put through to the Salford one. So obviously Salford and then Manchester. So I thought that's pretty decent from where I was starting the season. Pretty well, and sort of pretty proud to be nominated for that this year. And to sort of get the call saying, oh yeah, you made it to the Daily Mirror Pride Sport Award, I was like, yeah, what's going on? And then obviously I looked it all up and sort of got a bit more details about it. And I was like, oh my god! As soon as I got off the phone to the people that were telling me about it, I couldn't stop shaking for about 15 minutes. I couldn't say anything. I didn't know what to say because I'm not that sort of gobsmacked and sort of humbled to be nominated and sort of get down to the final 3 at the minute. It's just unreal, to be honest.
Yeah. And what is it about swimming that you enjoy? Why do you do it?
Well, I got into swimming when I was about 4 years old to help my disability. So I've got hemiplegia, which is a form of cerebral palsy. So I started doing it to help keep me flexible, keep me supple, and sort of my mobility, really. And sort of it went on from there. I did it for about 6 years. When I was 10, the person that was teaching me said, have I ever thought about racing? And I was like, well, not really. And then I gave it a go. And now I am 14 years later, and I'd say the rest is history. I've just gone on from there and things really.
So you've got hopes to make it to Rio next summer. What are your dreams and your ambitions for Rio?
Well, hopefully sort of come back with a medal. Obviously I'll strive to get the gold, but say any medal, and even to get on the squad would be sort of a maiden achievement really. And just to represent my country again. But again, it's sort of for me, yes, the athletic bit, the swimming bit is my life, and that's what I'm sort of striving for at the minute. But I'm looking at the end of my career, maybe like when I finish swimming, sort of I want to put back into the sport what I'm getting out of it and what I have got out of it over the past few years as well.
You're a swimming teacher and a lifeguard as well. I think that goes hand in hand with your sort of professional swimming at the moment, but I take it as a swimming teacher is something you're looking to do long term.
I want to get into my coaching really. That's sort of where I want to be. So obviously at the minute I'm a swimming teacher, and I just want to give back to, as I say, the kids, and sort of show the kids that swimming can be fun, it can be enjoyable, and if it's something you enjoy, stick with it, and you never know, you might be where I am, and hopefully even further, sort of in the future.
And just quickly back to the Paralympics, how do you think people's perception of disability sport and Paralympic sport is, particularly since the London Games? Do you think people are a lot more aware of it now, or what's your perception from inside?
Well, it has been sort of a bit more documented since the Paralympics, especially Channel 4. Obviously they're a sort of huge ambassador for Paralympic sport, with obviously different shows. They've got The Last Leg and things like that, and obviously taking on the Paralympics Paralympic Games for again next year for the coverage, it has become a lot more sort of out there, wide known through sort of all the other media genres, and it is a lot more sort of not PC anymore. Like a lot more people sort of aware about it and want to talk about it and are proud about it, rather than sort of a number of years ago when people didn't really sort of know about it or didn't really have any interest. They thought, well, disabled sport, what's that? Do you know what I mean? They didn't really think much of it. So yeah, it's really good.
I think you found that the level of competition in the last few years has risen as well.
Well, with disability sport, with any sport really, like each year it just keeps growing and growing. And obviously when I started competing, and to where I am now, it's a lot more competitive than it was when I started. So to get on the squads, it's a lot more sort of challenging, and you've got to put a lot more dedication and hard work into getting where you want to be, because there's a lot more athletes and a lot less places to even get picked. So
if you ever think at any point to be where you are now?
Well, I would dream to, but again, going back to Nottingham this summer, I never thought that I'll become 6-time cerebral palsy world champion. Even to be called world champion, I never thought that would become part of my name, really, part of who I am, but it isn't. So I'm really humbled and honoured to have that as part of me now, and sort of strive to be a Paralympic champion one day. But even to get where I am, yeah, it's really.
Have you got any advice for someone, say, like yourself, that's 10 years old, to get into Paralympic sport or sport in general? What would that advice be?
Well, like obviously, if there's a sport you enjoy doing, then sort of give it a go, and if you're talented at it, then obviously stick with it, and just be determined to sort of be the best you can be, and eventually, if you sort of give it your best shot, and you are good enough, hopefully you get the rewards in the end, and get sort of in the British teams or whatever teams you strive to be in, really.